welcome. You're watching Expertometer with me, Megha Sharma. Well, voting has concluded in Kerala and Puducherry as well as Assam with a historic voter turnout. All eyes are now on West Bengal and Tamil Nadu elections. Well, in this Expertometer, we are gauging the predictions of a number of political analysts who are joining me on the broadcast in a moment's time. Today, we have Varun Singh. And we also have GVR Shastri. Varun Singh is going to give his predictions on the states of West Bengal and Assam. Varun, Assam, the elections, the voting has just gotten over. In West Bengal, there is going to be a two-phase election very, very shortly. Let's start with West Bengal. How do you assess the probability of the TMC and Mamata Banerjee to come back to power?
Very honest, West Bengal is a very tough state to win, and it has a history that whosoever has been winning keeps winning it, winning it until unless there's a major revolution, and then things change over there. For example, the communists have ruled it for a very long time, and then Trinamool Congress, after that whole Singur thing, Mamata Banerjee managed to create a revolution sort of thing over there in West Bengal, and then she snatched power, and now she is there for 2, 3 continuous terms. But this time I feel that she may go, and my predictions are number of 120 to 125 for TMC for a very simple reason, because her vote share that we see, the minorities are constant with her, but there is also a bit of shift amongst the minority votes, especially because of Kabir Humayun who has come in. He may be in a very smaller belt, but still those kind of numbers of seats decreasing over there. And then you also have the Congress, which has sort of over there gained in a few seats from, I would say, 1 or 2. It may go up to, Congress may go up to 4, 5, 6, and the Communist may up to. So the Communist and the Congress, what I have given the number is 4 to 14, and BJP I think may be closer to the majority mark with 150, 160 to 165, a bit more than the majority mark in West Bengal. The very, very simple reason, basically two reasons: the SIR, which has sort of reduced those kind of fake votes that we used to hear used to be casted in Bengal. The fear amongst many people are being looked upon. For example, a TMC leader who had come out, who had mentioned in one of his speeches a day before yesterday, probably, that Aadhaar card is linked with your voter card. So we would know those kind of narratives that were being set up to spread fear amongst voters, that is being properly channelized and answered via social media,
Okay.
via the BJP leaders.
Okay.
One small thing I just wanted to
Quickly,
say about
before,
West Bengal. Yeah.
Let's keep it tight and crisp. Yeah.
Sure. One last thing I want to say about West Bengal is that BJP has promised 3,000 rupees per woman. And whenever we see this kind of freebies, which is more than the other party, the women are seen voting for them. And this one factor may also help the Bharatiya Janata Party in West Bengal.
Okay, also interesting you say that when the tide turns in favor of the opposition party in West Bengal, when there is a revolution of sorts that brings about an entire change in the thought process of the people of West Bengal. You've given in your estimates the statistics that you share, BJP at 160 to 165 out of the 294 seats. So that's like a sweeping majority. TMC at 120, 125. What kind of a revolution are you seeing on the ground in West Bengal?
There are two kinds of revolutions. First revolution that I said about, is the women revolution, especially giving the seat to RG Kar victim's mother, and the kind of increment of rupees 1,000 or 500 rupees per woman. So that they can benefit and they can use that money for their well-being and for some smaller businesses. That is one kind of revolution. The second revolution that I see is the nationalistic revolution. West Bengal for a very long time across the country has been seen as a place from where the Bangladeshis have been infiltrating, and the people want border states to be very closely monitored, and that is one of the reason why we see that people within West Bengal, and so many people within West Bengal you have been seeing speaking against the illegal immigrants who have been coming from Bangladesh, how they have been trying to occupy, and also the dominance of a particular community that they feel. These are the revolutions that are taking place over there. The thing
Okay.
how how Bangladeshis slowly and gradually started entering all those almost those places. If you see the SIR videos that came out, how the slums were empty after the SIR thing started over there. These kind of images are still very relevant amongst the people, and it is the revolution I'm talking about.
Okay, all right, all right. Also, what impact do you think is the special intensive survey by the Election Commission going to make this election?
Absolutely. This elections, one thing we have to also understand, the voting percentage will increase. Most of the states that have seen SIR, the voting percentages have increased over there for a very simple reason, because the number of dead that used to be always counted in amongst the total voters turnout, this that will reduce, so the voting percentage will increase. And also, because voting percentage, because the number of dead and those people who aren't there are deleted because of SIR, the fake votes that used to go to a certain party, whosoever, Bengal politics is very it's not a good thing to say, but you have always seen Bengal politics is always attached with violence. Bengal politics is always attached with things that you don't see in other states, and that is one reason why SIR is going to have an impact, because the number of voting percentage, when it increases, and people have that fear that they would be targeted after the elections, that thing is also slowly and gradually reducing. SIR has a major impact, because those people, especially whose names were used to cast fake votes, that thing goes down, and it is a good thing for democracy. Immaterial who wins or who loses, but for democracy, it is a good
Okay.
thing when rightful voters get to vote over there.
Okay, all right. Let's shift our focus to Assam. Voting has completed. The voters have cast their vote. What's the situation? BJP versus the Congress. How do you assess both parties are going to perform?
Oh, it's going to be a tsunami for the Bharatiya Janata Party in Assam, and the very reason for that is because if you see the high voltage performances of the Bharatiya Janata Party, especially how Himanta Biswa Sarma took over every medium over there, may it be the social media, may it be on the stage, may it be on the ground, he was there everywhere. He was clearly seen, and Congress gave him a very potent thing to discuss over there by targeting his wife. And he became so damn relevant over there that the Congress's most favored leaders, people who are around him, they started targeting him. And the Congress appeared on a back foot over there. The Congress, which should have had an alliance with the AIDUF, the Ajmal's party, probably they would have managed to, get the minority votes centered. They failed in doing that. And if you ask me, I predict, and I not only me but most of the people who are seeing Assam's politics, it is going to be one sided, and it is going to be the Bharatiya Janata Party. How Himanta Biswa Sarma openly targets those people who are not from Assam, who have infiltrated over there. How he has been posting things on in the midnight about how people who do not belong to Assam, who have infiltrated the state and have to be thrown out, are being shown the door. Those things have made a home in the minds of people of Assam who have been facing all these
Okay.
issues. The demography change is not something that actually is a myth, and he has shown it on the ground that it is there, and that is the reason why he is winning.
Okay. If that's the reason, according to you, Himanta Biswa Sarma and the BJP are getting those votes and are being able to influence the people, why is it that there have been these heated arguments, allegations and counter allegations started off by Himanta Biswa Sarma on the questions and that were posed about the Pakistani links of the opposition leader's wife, about how he relinquished the Indian citizenship of his son in favor of a British citizenship.
Sorry, I couldn't understand. You're saying that Himanta Biswa Sarma relinquished his son's citizenship, or
Himanta
are you
Biswa
talking about the
Sarma,
opposition?
Himanta Biswa Sarma has made allegations against Gaurav Gogoi that his
Yes,
wife
yes,
had
absolutely.
Pakistani links. And then there has, of
Yes,
course, been a counter allegation being made against Himanta Biswa Sarma and his wife about these several passports that were allegedly being held by the wife, about various assets and shell companies that Himanta Biswa Sarma and his wife have invested in out of the country.
there are two. There are two differences. The
And there's
setting
been
of
nothing
narrative.
that has been proved thus far.
Absolutely, no one
On
has been
both
able to
sides,
prove anything. Neither.
on the Congress
Yeah, yeah,
side
that's what I'm
or the
saying.
BJP side.
Absolutely. Yes, but there are two different ways of setting up narrative. The setting up narrative of Pawan Khera, the allegations that he made against Himanta Biswa Sarma's wife, and then the kind of facts and the figures that were presented in front of the public by the BJP social media cell, it casted doubts on all those questions that were presented by Pawan Khera. But when Himanta Biswa Sarma started attacking, way before than this Pawan Khera thing happened, started attacking Gaurav Gogoi and his wife and all those other elements related to him and people related to him, the kind of narrative that should have been set by the Congress, they failed over there. They were not able to protect him. The way the BJP came out protecting Himanta Biswa Sarma and his wife, that helps, that works. And also, you have to understand, Himanta Biswa Sarma's wife is a local of Assam. So, it is always about the Assamese pride, about the Asmita, the local identity. Whereas in the opposite case, it isn't. And as I said, the narrative setting failed over there by the Congress, which the BJP immediately latched upon and came out with almost every, they counted every passport,
Well, all
every
I know
document that
is
was
that there
pastable.
have been allegations made.
Yes, yes,
There has
allegations are
been
been
no
made.
proof. There has been no
No proof.
evidence so far. So, is it a mudslinging match that has happened, and who is it benefiting? Are the people of Assam watching it and having a good laugh, or is it actually of any benefit to the BJP or the Congress? All right, thank you very much, Varun Singh, for joining me, sharing your assessment.